Yo, what's up, everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and I just have a little bit of like a news video for you all today. I don't have a lot of topics to talk about, but I did notice this news article just recently get put out there like 20 minutes ago, and this one involves Warren Buffett and the moves that he's making with his Berkshire Hathaway company. And I also just wanted to do this video to just provide another one of those examples of how it can actually be pretty fun to keep up with the stock market and looking at how different news affects the percentages that it goes up and down. And we did a little bit of an example of that yesterday with Tesla with the Q1 delivery reports where it jumped up yesterday and after hours and then jumped up even more today. So it's jumped up like 20% just because of that quarter 1 delivery report that beat analyst expectations. So I really think that it's fun to show you all how all of these news articles out there can actually affect a company. Even when there's like a much more massive general news going around with the whole Rona situation, it still shows how company stock specific news can still affect it aside from the whole situation that's currently overarching. And I really think that's truly interesting, which is why I wanted to share this video with you all. Plus it's about Warren Buffett, and you really just can't go wrong when you're looking at his plays and things and just analyzing him as a person and how he's been able to build up so much wealth. And I personally aspire to be like that, to have his sort of mindset, and I really respect what Warren Buffett has done, and he's just that figure in the finance community to where almost everyone gives him credibility just because he has that king status. I'll link the article down in the description below, but as you can see with this recent Business Insider article, it says that Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway sold nearly $390 million worth of Delta and Southwest shares this week. So for one thing, let's go ahead and look at Delta Airlines. As you can see, it is down 11%, and I'm sure some of that is just simply down because of the negative market red day that we had today, but I also think that Warren Buffett's play also played a huge role in that, because there are people out there that really mimic and copy what Warren Buffett is doing. So whatever moves that he is making, there's surely going to be a lot of people out there that are going to copy it. And honestly, even if you aren't mimicking Warren Buffett's moves, if you are an investor of one of these airline stocks and you see that Warren Buffett is even selling some of his stock, it may actually make you consider, okay, is this a good time? Because this man is a genius, pretty much an investing genius, and he's getting out of the game a little bit. Should I maybe do this? So given that, let's also look up the stock for Southwest. I wonder, I'm guessing that it'll be less of a down percentage than, well, oh my gosh, it's actually pretty much the same. So they're both at like 11%. This one's almost 11%, and that one's a little bit over 11%. So both of these had a similar impact based off of this news and just the downwards market day that we had today. And I'll go ahead and show you the 5-year chart for this. As you can see, it is down so much. Over the past 5 years, it is down 55%. I can't even imagine investing into this stock on April 3rd, 2015 and being down 55%, like not even gaining 1%, which you could get easily in a high interest savings account. So I can't even imagine investing in this stock 5 years ago and having faith in it only to see it drop this much. That would certainly be very discouraging. And let's go ahead and check out the other one, Southwest Airlines. I'm assuming it's about the same. At least 5 years ago, it was a little bit closer to this point. But for sure on Delta Airlines, I really feel for those people. But this right here is one of the big reasons why I'm not a big fan of investing in these airline companies. The only reason that I would personally consider investing in these airline companies right now or a little bit later on in the future, because I think stocks are going to go down a little bit more over the next few months, the only reason that I would consider investing in these would be for short term. And I don't normally invest in short term, but it would be for the rebound gains. The rebound gains when this situation hopefully finally gets solved and airlines start to become a little bit more relevant and back to that sort of baseline price. And when it finally does rebound to that, that'll be some nice gains. But I personally would not invest in these airline companies long term. I don't think they're very good long-term stocks. If you look at the past 5 years, even on the most recent peak, you're not even getting a 10% gain every year, which you can pretty much get that about easily with VOO. And we're looking at the peak. We're not even factoring in the drop. We're looking at it as if this crash never happened. So even at its peak, most recently, it's only up 10%. Not even 10% per year. It's up 30% for the past 5 years. So less than 10% a year. And you could almost easily get 10% a year with the VOO stock, which basically mirrors the index. And as I say in every single one of these videos, before I even go further on, I just want to say that these videos are not intended to be financial advice. It's just for me sharing my personal opinions and the way I feel about the market currently. So just to get that out of the way, this is not financial advice. But personally, I just think rather than investing in airlines, if you really want to be super safe, I would personally prefer to just invest in VOO if you just want to be pretty safe, because I feel like airlines are not that safe and you don't really gain that much either. Like I said, if you look at the recent peak, let's look at the recent peak on Delta Airlines. As you can see right here, recent peak was on February 14th, and it was up again only 30%, so not even 10% a year. But anyways, going on further into the article, it said that $390 billion worth of shares in Delta and Southwest Airlines were sold. However, one thing to realize, and it kind of makes this news seem like less of a big deal, is that this only made up for the part that Warren Buffett sold from Delta was only 20% of what he actually owns fully in Delta, and the part that he sold for the Southwest holdings were only 4% of what he owns in that. So it's actually not him selling like 50% of the stock. 20% is pretty significant in Delta, and I definitely see why he did that, because like I said, Delta has performed a little bit worse if he bought 5 years ago compared to like Southwest, as you can see, or at least it seems so. But I'm sure 20% is still a big deal when we're talking about big money like this. Well, I'm reading the article right here, and it says he sold nearly a fifth of Delta, which you would assume would be like 20%, but if you go further on down to this, it says he only sold like an 11% stake in Delta. So I guess that's not as much as we really expected. That's not really a fifth, that's more like a tenth. But I guess as you can see, it says he sold just 11% stake in Delta and a 4% stake in Southwest, it says. But anyways, the article goes on to talk about a little bit more of the whole situation, but I've basically covered the juicy parts, the main parts that you truly really want to know. But like I said, personally, just for my personal situation and the way I work with the market and my belief system with the market, I am not a big fan of investing in Delta Airlines or Southwest long term. I just don't think it holds up as a long-term stock, and I really try to go for that growth when I invest. As you can see with my portfolio right here, I invest in a little bit of VOO to be safe, but I also like to be a little risky as well and invest in Microsoft. Honestly, Microsoft and Apple are not really risky, but they are growth stocks, so I guess they're risky compared to like an index, like a purely index fund investor that only does index funds. But I am playing it a little bit risky with Tesla, and I think long-term it's not really that risky. It's just volatile right now in the moment. But you could say an index fund investor only would probably say these stocks are a little bit more risky, considering that each of them makes up about 25% of my portfolio. As you can see with Microsoft, it is a very good growth stock in my opinion, and it takes up about 27% of my portfolio. And Apple does something similar. That's about 18%. So I have big stakes in these companies in terms of percentages of my portfolio. And of course, I have a little bit, mostly like the majority of the percentage, about 50% in VOO, just to be a little bit safe. Probably won't be investing in VOO anytime soon though, because I'm loving the Microsoft right now. But I just wanted to share this quick little news video for you all. Warren Buffett is always an interesting topic, and the moves that he's making is always fun to look at. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to smash that like button, drop a like on the video. It really does help me out here. And also, if you want to get started with investing, I'll leave my referral links to Robinhood and Webull down in the description. So if you want to check that out and start investing, we'll both get some free stocks, which will be awesome. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend.